What's good, everybody? My name is Gentleman Jugg.
And I'm Son.
And welcome back to the Gentleman Juggcast, episode 48. Please check us out on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. How you doing today, boy?
It's all right.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's pretty good. Beautiful day outside today. Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Whatever you want to say. We got another movie today for you. And what's that this time, boy?
X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Yeah, and like always, we are going to be spoiling the hell out of this movie. The hell out of this movie. Okay? Like we do every single time. I don't think there's an issue. But hey, I got a comment last week where somebody was sitting there upset that we spoiled Supergirl.
Yeah.
You know, I
They brought the claws out.
Yeah, you know, but whatever. I mean, this movie came out in like 2009, and it was a very slow year for superhero movies in general. I mean, it was like this and The Watchmen, and that was it as far as superhero movies in 2009. I mean, now we get to drink from the bountiful cup of superhero movies every year, at least 3 a year.
From Marvel.
Well, no, from Marvel and DC.
Yeah.
I believe 3 from DC are coming out this year.
Oh.
You know, like we already saw the Batman, reviewed that. Check it out on YouTube. We already saw, we haven't already seen it, but we've
already seen Flash.
We've already seen Flash. Okay, I believe that comes out this year. The Flash and also
Shazam.
Aquaman. I think Shazam's next year.
Oh, okay.
Aquaman, maybe Black Adam. I'm not sure.
My question is, where's Man of Steel 2? Or The Superman?
The Superman. I don't know. I don't know what's going on in DC. They want to sit there and keep making Batman movies, but yet I can't get a second Man of Steel, you know.
Or The Superman.
Whatever they want to call it.
I mean, we could have like the Superman trailer. They play like all the music, and they just show him like walking slowly towards like, I don't know, Toyman or something.
I guess. I don't know. I mean, like, it would have been even better if they were like they could have called the second movie, I don't know, Last Son of Krypton?
Or Tomorrow Man.
Man of Tomorrow?
I call it Tomorrow Man.
I think there's already a thing called Tomorrow Man.
I think it's Tomorrowland.
Well, yeah, but we've been there. We're getting sidetracked. Okay. We will get into talking about X-Men Origins Wolverine. Yeah. And like I said, came out in 2019. And
2019.
2009. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut the fuck up. Okay. 2009. How old were you? 5?
Probably.
Yeah, you're probably about 5. I gotta go ahead and put this out there. Okay? This movie came out with a game when movies used to come out with games at the same time. Like around the same time.
Like Transformers.
Yeah, like Transformers. How even Batman. Batman Begins came out with a video game. Mm-hmm. You know, I enjoyed that game. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about this. And this is X-Men Origins Wolverine. And it came out with a video game called X-Men Origins Wolverine. And that game was badass. It was the one time a game outshined the source material, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I remember playing this game in front of you.
Mm-hmm. And
I should not have been playing this game in front of you. It's one of those things where, as a parent, you just realize, well, I fucked that up. So you just move on. I think you should play it. I don't even think you remember the game.
I just remember seeing a guy in like a tank top.
All right, fine.
It was probably Logan.
Probably. I mean, probably. You're probably right. But whatever. Let us get into this movie because we're gonna spoil the hell out of it, like we do every movie. So don't be sending me comments. You spoiled the movie. Watch, I'm gonna get like flooded with comments
this time.
Yeah,
they're gonna be like, "You should have talked about Veer more."
That's probably what they're gonna say to me. I don't care. Anyways, I spelled Logan wrong. No, I didn't. I spelled it right.
Logan.
So, the movie comes on and it just starts.
Yay.
I like that.
Yeah.
But that was short-lived because, of what happens just after this. So, we see baby Victor and baby Jimmy, talking to each other. And Jimmy is coughing in the bed because he's always sick.
COVID?
Not quite. He's sitting there with his dad, and his dad's like, maybe you need to get out of here, Victor. And then a shot comes in, and it's Victor's dad who's yelling for Jimmy's father. And then you hear a gunshot, and then you realize that Jimmy's father is dead. And immediately, baby Jimmy, he ends up freaking squirting some claws out and running and killing his father. Or killing the guy that killed him, his father. And look, this probably would have looked better if it was in a comic book or if it was drawn. Right? Because here it looked goofy as shit.
It was something. It was something. I was like, I don't really remember this movie except for the ending, which we'll get to. But like, when I first saw this, I was like, all right, this can't be real.
It's real and it's happening. And look, I don't hate that scene. It didn't work.
It looks goofy.
I don't know. Maybe if he would have had his claws out in a shadow or something, I don't know. Something else could have been done rather than what they did do.
Yeah, and the guy dies, and he's like, "Not your father.
I'm your father, son." And
I'm like, okay.
yeah, and then the mother doesn't say jack shit. She's like, "What are you?" And he just leaves. And of course Victor catches up to him. And he's like, "Yeah, I didn't mean to fuck this up." And he's like, "Yeah, we're cool now. Let's get out of here.
Let's just run into flash forwards."
Yeah, and then as I thought the movie had just started, which I was happy with, immediately it has opening credits.
Yep.
Which I'm not really a fan of these days, but
Superman.
Yeah, people like this scene of Logan and Victor. I guess Jimmy and Victor going through time from World War I to II and the Vietnam War and stuff like that. People like that. And I thought, look, it's fine. I don't hate it, but I'm not sitting here thinking this is the greatest thing ever.
I don't know why, but when I saw this, for some reason I was expecting to see Captain America in there or something.
That would have been cool, right?
Yeah.
That would have been awesome.
Or they don't even have to show him, they could have shown a shield or something.
Something.
But no.
Which, look, I didn't hate this. I think I talked to you off podcast where we talked about the timeline of these movies. Because all the X-Men movies in timeline-wise, are fucked.
Yeah,
so,
even Deadpool.
Yeah, they're just all fucked. So I don't hate that scene of them going through time. It's just I don't think it's the most awesome thing that people were saying when it was coming out.
People were like, it was so awesome.
Yeah. So finally we get to a point where, toward the end of that opening credit scene, Victor decides he wants to go ahead and kill a superior officer. And this forces him and Logan to have to get, I keep saying Logan, but his name is Jimmy, to have to get...
Jimmy, no last name.
Well, it's in the comics, it's Howlett. It's James Howlett. But, James is... Jimmy is short for James, so... But, Victor keeps calling him Jimmy. So, they get executed, or they're supposed to be executed, so they get executed. And then, they wake up in a cell, and Stryker is right in front of them.
Yeah.
How'd that execution go? Yeah, it's fine. I'm sure getting shot doesn't tickle, but, that's what he says. He's like, hey, how'd that go? That's all right.
It's all right, man.
It's all good. So they are propositioned by William Stryker, who's actually being played by Danny Hudson, to join a team. And I gotta let you know that, Wolverine, of course, is played by huge, jacked man. And Sabretooth is being played by Liev Schreiber. Now, I gotta say something about this casting. I don't hate Liev Schreiber as Sabretooth. I think he's fine. He's just not big enough for me. Like, Sabretooth, okay, here's the deal. Wolverine, in the comics himself, is about 5'2".
Yeah.
About 300 pounds because he has the extra muscle and he has the extra 100 pounds of weight from the adamantium.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Whereas Sabretooth, I believe, in the comics is like 7'5" or something. Like, he's much bigger than Wolverine.
That's why in the X-Men cartoon when they fight, Wolverine gets destroyed every time.
Just about.
And it's just endless screaming.
Yeah. I don't know how I can't. I'm not gonna do the voice, but I like it. I like the voice of that Wolverine from that comic, that cartoon. So, but whatever. Anyways, so we meet the team, and the team that they're a part of on a plane, and the team consists of Deadpool being played by Ryan Reynolds, which I thought at the time was perfect casting.
And I guess you were proven right by 2 other movies.
Yeah, we'll get to those sooner or later. But best casting ever. I don't know who or what made that casting, but this is the right choice. Okay. Sucks at how he's used here.
Don't worry, it gets better.
Yeah. And then we got the other characters, the Blob, we got Zero, we got Wraith being played by Will.i.am. And it's this is all fine. Okay? These are not bad casting choices.
No. I like the Blob's voice.
I love her. She's a gymnast. That's my favorite line in the whole movie. I must have watched it like 5 or 6 times. Anyways, so they're here to infiltrate a base so they can get a particular mineral called adamantium. And they're going through and, doing their superhero things, and it looks cool. And that's one thing I like about this movie. A lot of things here look cool.
Even the ending?
We'll get there. Okay? Finally, the characters show up at a village because the guy that they were talking to at the first place they infiltrated said, go to this village. That's where I found this fucking rock. So they go there. And we realize that Jimmy doesn't want to kill people anymore. So Sabretooth starts getting ready to kill people, and, Jimmy stops him. And he's like, it's over. We've done too much. I'm done. Look, I think it's fine to have a change of heart, but, he didn't explain really why he was done. He just kind of said, I've done too much. That's it.
And it's funny, they say, you can't just walk away from this.
And then he walks away. Like, literally walks out of the screen.
It's just funny. They just watch him go.
Yeah. So, 6 years later, Jimmy has a house in the Canadian mountains, and he lives with this other character named Silver Fox, and turns out he's, in love, and he's living a happy life being a lumberjack. Which is great. It's fine.
Lumber Jimmy.
It's honest work. So, then we start seeing Sabretooth 6 years later start killing some of the team members of, I guess they're Task Force X. I don't know what the name of the team is.
X-Force,
It could be anything. X-Star. Sure. Name it whatever you want. So, later she tells a story to Wolverine about a character being called Wolverine being tricked. And this is boring, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are you bored here?
Yes.
Nothing is happening to me that really feels like it's impacting or moving the story ahead in a meaningful manner.
Yep.
Not to me. Okay. So we cut to the next day, and Logan is cutting down trees, and he starts to smell Sabretooth, who's about to go kill Silver Fox. And he's too late, of course. So this scene is supposed to feel emotional, but I just don't feel it.
Nope.
I don't feel it. Maybe if it was drawn. Or in a comic book.
Is that what you're going to say about this movie? Maybe it should have been a comic book.
Maybe it should have been a comic book. I don't know.
Could have been better.
So Logan meets Sabretooth, and he in a bar, and they fight, and the fight looks cool, right?
Yep.
You know, it's not a bad fight. They're throwing each other around, stabbing each other with blown claws and shit like that. It looks cool.
He could have done the Superman thing, be like, "You care to step outside?"
I guess he could have said that, but you know, whatever. But in the end, Logan gets his ass kicked.
Of course.
So we meet William Stryker again after Logan's been just devastated by Sabretooth. And he gets propositioned to join Stryker again to get adamantium into his bones.
Yep.
Okay, and this is the scene that really sold me on watching this thing in theaters, because I saw this in theaters. And this scene sold me on seeing this in theaters. Because it looks cool.
I remember this scene, like, I don't know. I remember this scene being, like, way longer. Like, where he screams way longer when he gets out of the water.
I don't know. Maybe it's because they freaking, they slowed it down in the trailer. I don't know. Whatever it was, they did it, and I thought it was cool.
Maybe that's because I saw it like when I was really young, but I just remember it being like a Dragon Ball power-up where he just screams and like the whole room shakes or something.
For like 45 minutes. That hurt more than I thought it would. Anyways, so Logan manages to get to a barn where where an old couple is there.
The Kents.
You can say they're the Kents. That's what I said when we were watching it last night.
Meet the Kents.
He met the Kents, you know, and
we dressed them up like.
Then we see it, those CGI claws when Logan's fucking around in the bathroom. I look. I saw this in theaters, and I didn't. Maybe the resolution of projectors was different back then, but I didn't see it at the time. Okay. Now we're watching the TV in super high definition, and I'm looking at this. I'm like, oh my god, what the hell is this?
It looks fake.
It looks awful. I didn't realize how awful it looked. I kept thinking people were like, oh come on, you guys are just fucking bullshitting. This is terrible. I don't give a shit. You can say whatever you want, but this is crap, you know. And then I see it this time, and I everybody was right. I was wrong. Those claws look awful.
Ew.
They look terrible. They looked absolutely terrible.
Ew.
Yeah, and then, of course, he cuts the dude's sink in half, and then, you know...
He carries it.
Well, he brings it out to show them, hey, I cut your sink in half. I don't want you to sit there and be thinking, what happened to this sink? I'm going to let you know. I did this to the sink.
So. I mean, he cut one in half, but did he use it like Batman to beat someone in the back of the head with it?
No, he just brought it in and set it in their sink, I guess, you know.
He put a sink in their sink.
You know, so, anyways, Logan goes back out to sleep in the barn that night. He wakes up in the morning and he's ready to go. So the old man brings him the trademark jacket, which, you know, fine, a little nod, but they make it seem like it's more than what it is. It really isn't to me.
It's my son's jacket. And then the mother comes in and she's like, yeah, she look good in it.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, great.
Yeah, and then immediately, you know, she promptly gets killed by Zero. You know, just shot right in the stomach, then shot in the back of the head.
Not the Kents.
Yeah, and then Jonathan Kent gets shot in the freaking head, and or the chest. He got shot somewhere, and
he died.
Yeah, he died. So Logan comes out, and he breaks out with his freaking
oh no, he doesn't
motorcycle.
He doesn't break out. They blow it up, and like he's just driving out of the explosion with the motorcycle.
Look, it looks cool. The action scene looks cool. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It just doesn't feel. It doesn't feel grand. It doesn't feel big.
Probably,
you know what I mean?
I've just seen too many stuff since then.
I don't know. I remember feeling this way when I saw this in theaters. I was like, this is an action scene, and I should be freaking hyped, but I'm just not hyped. I was more hyped playing the video game than I am watching this movie. And Logan did something incredible where he jumped off of his motorcycle onto a freaking Jeep, and the Jeep blew up, and he flew him into the helicopter blades that he chopped up with his adamantium claws. I said that out loud, and it sounds cool, but I watched it, and I'm like, I don't Give a fuck.
It's not that cool, bro.
It's not that cool. Right? So whatever. Then Stryker shows us later on that he has adamantium bullets. And it's fine. Whatever. Okay.
Sure, man. Sure.
These things were stupid until I saw Logan. So, whatever.
A better movie.
Yeah. So then we enter Cyclops. Now, why is this a thing? Now, I had to explain something to you, boy, when we saw this movie. It's basically the timeline of this particular movie. Takes place in the 1960s, as far as I'm concerned. And Cyclops is in school. Okay? And he's in high school. And one would have to assume that at the latest, he is 18 years old as a senior.
Right.
Okay? Which means that if this movie takes place at that point in time, that means that he had from, I don't know exactly when in 1960, but we'll say, we'll go ahead and give you 1969. Okay? So 1969 to the year 2000 is about 31 years. And he does not look like he is in his 50s in the first X-Men movie that came out in 2000.
He's got Wolverine's powers.
Yeah.
He's like Wolverine.
It's ridiculous here. So I don't understand why they had to freaking show Cyclops in this movie. Nevertheless.
Because it's called X-Men Origins.
No. If you're going to have Wolverine here in the 60s, you do not need to have Cyclops, who does not look like he's in his 50s in the year 2000. All the movies run into this fucking problem. Every single one of them. Except for like X-Men 2 and X-Men 3. This is ridiculous.
And, well, I was going to say Days of Future Past, but I'm not sure.
No, he wasn't in that one.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he was. Yes, he was. But I'm still, because he's a high school student in that one too, and that one takes place in the what? In the also the 60s?
Yes.
Son of a bitch. No, that was the 70s.
I think so.
That was the 70s.
Yeah.
We're getting off track.
But the timeline's confusing.
The timeline is very confusing for these movies. Anyways, so we find out that Sabretooth and Stryker are working together. They capture mutants still. And apparently, back in the day, they were doing this, and now they're still doing it. Anyway, so we meet Wraith again, who's also being played by will.i.am still. And like I say, this scene is stupid because he's fighting the Blob. Now, the Blob, when I fought him in X-Men Origins, the game, they were in a grocery store fighting.
Oh, like Stone Cold Steve Austin and Booker T.
Yeah, except the Blob was freaking destroying aisles. So he was like bowling over aisles and shit like that, if I remember correctly.
He wasn't pouring milk on him.
Yeah, and it was fun. It was a fun match. I liked it. I had a great time with it. Wolverine is sitting here boxing the Blob, and I'm just like...
But did you get to beat him up with baby wipes?
I don't care. I don't care. I was bored with this fight. It was something that was goofy for the sake of needing to be goofy, and it's something that didn't need to be in this movie that was about a dark time in Logan's life.
And I just said, I remember when we were watching, we were like, from the top rope, and...
Yeah, and he, from the top rope, hit him with the elbow in the head and took him out,
Like, finisher.
Yeah. So, whatever. So, Wraith and Logan decide to go to New Orleans, and they meet Gambit. And Gambit is being played by Taylor Kitsch.
I feel like this is the only X-Men movie I've seen him in. I could be wrong, though.
You're correct. You're correct. And right when this happens, Wraith is starting to fight Sabretooth, and Sabretooth kills him. And so that's the end of Wraith.
He just dies.
Yeah, that's it. That's the end of Wraith. So, whatever. We go back to Stryker, and Stryker is talking about Weapon 11. And, I mean, look, I don't know what you thought I was going to say. It's Weapon 11. It's not somebody else. Okay. Back to the fight with Gambit and Wolverine. Sabretooth comes out. They want to fight Wolverine. Wolverine kicks his ass because he has claws now. Because I guess claws somehow make him... The metal claws somehow make him better. I don't know.
Heavy metal.
Yeah, whatever it is. Because, Wolverine still can move at the same speed he was moving when he had bone claws. So explain that one to me. He's 100 pounds more. And they even say that he weighs more. But...
Oh, plot metal.
Plot metal, pretty much. So Gambit fights Wolverine and whatever. It looks fake and it's CGI glory.
And Gambit gets destroyed.
Yeah. So, whatever. Gambit has told Wolverine that he's going to take him to this island. I don't know what the island was called. I don't care what it was called. But they go there.
It could be called Stryker Island for all.
It could be called doo-doo. For all I give a shit. So Logan shows up, and so does Victor, and so does Silver Fox. What? Silver Fox is alive? What?
Yeah, shock.
Stryker explains to us that, that he had to freaking take Wolverine's powers to also put him inside the pool. The dead pool. And Silver Fox explains why she betrayed Logan. Yeah, I just skipped right past it. I just skipped right past it. I don't give a fuck. So Logan is leaving, and we find out that Stryker is using Sabretooth and Silver Fox. So Logan comes back, and he fights Victor. And Logan wins, of course.
It's funny how he walks all the way outside just to come back, teleported like Goku.
Came right back in. It was no big deal.
I'm like, okay, he has super speed too.
Mm-hmm. So, fuck it. Logan gets help to free all the other mutants, and they escape the facility. And then Deadpool shows up, and this looks so fucking stupid. Oh my god.
When you watch Deadpool 2 and they make fun of it, you're like, yeah, that was bad. But then you watch it here when they're actually trying to take it seriously, and I'm like, this is worse.
This is pretty bad. It's pretty bad. I can't do this.
Just look at it. It's just funny.
Yeah, so Deadpool has many powers that he does have in the comics, except for the optic blast vision that he got from Cyclops.
If he didn't have that, he'd be somewhat accurate.
Yeah. And he fights, and Sabretooth shows up, and they fight, and you think that Sabretooth's going to do something, but they get their ass kicked.
They just do
both of them.
Back to back, brother.
Yeah.
And they get destroyed.
And he beats both of their asses anyways. And eventually Logan manages to cut Deadpool's head off.
Somehow.
And, it's not somehow. Deadpool wouldn't turn his optic blast off of Wolverine's metal claws, and he cut his fucking head off. So it worked. And look, this is fine. I don't really care.
His mouth was sewed shut.
His mouth was sewn shut.
Yep.
Because one of the things about the character Deadpool is that he doesn't talk. Right?
Yeah, from the comics.
He doesn't talk in the comics. He doesn't talk in anything, does he?
No.
He's not. They don't call him the Merc with the mouth. They don't call him that.
They call the mouthless Merc.
Yeah, there you go. The mouthless Merc. Okay, that's what they call him.
Yeah.
He doesn't break fourth walls. He doesn't do any of that shit.
He doesn't have any costumes or anything. He just got the red pants.
That's what he has, red pants. Ridiculous.
And some weird black stuff on his eyes.
Just ridiculous. It's fucking dumb. I saw the deleted or the behind the scenes about this, and they're like, "This is what we did with Deadpool, and it was so cool. But we thought this was the origin version of it, so we should go ahead and do it like this." You were wrong. You were wrong.
This ain't no one's origin.
Okay, you were wrong. This is Wolverine's origin.
Yeah,
and, for the movies, but I don't know. Whatever. Okay, so Gambit makes an appearance, and that's it. He's gone. Just in time for Kayla to show up, the Silver Fox, to come out and die.
Like, I'm dying, Logan.
Yeah, and during this time, Stryker freaking shoots Logan in the back with the adamantium bullets.
And in the head.
And then he shoots him in the head, then shoots him in the head after he knocks him out. And this is supposed to make him lose his memories. So of course, Logan wakes up and like, who am I? Who am I? I was watching a Jackie Chan movie a while back, so. Anyways, as a shocker, Professor X shows up and all of his CGI glory. If that really was Patrick Stewart, what the fuck happened? But I don't think it was him.
It didn't look right.
It didn't look right. It just didn't look right.
He also has hair. I mean, he didn't have hair. He was bald.
He was bald. But, I mean, I could have sworn that I saw in X-Men First Class that he had hair. and also in that same movie, he freaking lost the use of his legs. But whatever. I mean, he can fly helicopters in this movie, that require legs to use, but whatever.
He's actually standing up too.
Yeah, looking just weird as fuck. He just looks weird. He looks weird.
He's like, hi.
Yeah. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and say this, okay? This movie doesn't line up with any of the other X-Men movies really perfectly, but then again, most of them don't make sense. But this movie does have its flaws, and it is not as bad as I thought it was. Okay?
But Deadpool is as bad.
Maybe I got caught up in the hype of the movie news when the shit was coming out. People were hating on this movie real hard, and they still do. But this movie is not as bad as I thought it was. And go ahead. What's your score, boy?
I guess I'll give it a low 2. That's what I'm thinking here.
Yeah.
A low 2.
I give this movie the highest 2. So it's 2 from you, 2 from me.
YouTube.
No, don't. Fuck you. Don't. Okay. But like I said, this is one of those movies. It doesn't deserve as much of the hate as it got, but it does deserve a lot of the hate that it got too. So
because of Deadpool.
That's part one of it. CGI clause was another.
Yeah.
So,
but Deadpool was important to me.
I mean, he wasn't important to you at the time because you didn't know who he was.
But now he is.
Now I know.
Now I know who he is. Now I know his greatness.
Yeah. So look, I got nothing else for you on this one. It's not as bad as people gave it credit for, but I don't need to ever watch this movie again.
Yeah.
But I will play the video game because that shit was dope. I think I might go see if I can find a place to go buy it, and I'm gonna buy it after this.
like right now.
Probably right now,
yep.
And I'll be playing it, and I'll probably record some shit and put it on YouTube at Gentleman Jugg.
Yeah, see.
But until then, I'm gonna go ahead and call this an episode.
Yep.
So take it easy, you guys. Check us out on YouTube, Facebook, sure, why not? Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff. Give us the star. I don't give a fuck. Give us the stars. Give us the stars. That's what I gotta say. Okay, thumbs up, all that nonsense. And we'll see you next time because that one will be available
when it's ready.